are some intangibles that those projections failed to take into consideration.
The crowd was going crazy. There's not much in life that's better than that.
You're listening to Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys on the 95.7 The Game Podcast Network.
Hello there. Welcome back to the Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys podcast, episode 52. This is Sam Lubman here with Joe the Butcher Boy Shasky. Shasky, 52, that is the number of games in a row the Giants are about to win. They've got 4 down already, 48 more to go. That's how I'm feeling right now. That's what a 4-game winning streak is doing to me right now with this team. I'm smiling a lot because the Giants are winning finally. And for the first time in 2023, it is fun to be a Giants fan.
Yeah, and it feels like they're putting together some timely hitting with some decent starting pitching right now, which is turning it around. You got a bullpen game yesterday from the team after a beautiful start from Alex Cobb, maybe the best of the season. I know it's early. It's
the early
game
running
shutout. Feels like it. Are there guys struggling? Of course. But right now, I'll take wins however I can get them. Now, the Cardinals have been one of the more disappointing teams in baseball, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter for me, considering the gauntlet that the Giants are going up against in terms of contenders, preseason contenders over the next couple of games and series. So I like it where we're at right now. Yastrzemski's been hot, and obviously Estrada has been outstanding. J.D. Davis, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, it's been fun, like pleasantly fun. I know we don't want to throw that word to the Giants, but Sam, hasn't it been?
It has. So I was at the game on Friday night, that 7-0 loss to the Mets, and it was about as dismal as you could probably imagine. It was not fun being at the Yard that night. Stripling was okay. Ross Stripling was pitching that night. He looked okay, and then all of a sudden, he just kind of hangs a slider that Pete Alonso just, basically Alonso'd right over the fence, and when that happens, just like, here we go again, and they were able to pull it together after that. Logan Webb, I thought he labored a bit at times on Saturday, but for the most part, that was his strongest start of the year. He finished with 10 straight outs there, and then fast forward to who was it that pitched on Sunday? Was it DeSclafani on Sunday? Yes, I believe it was. That was another great game against the Mets. Giants come back, winning it in the go ahead run in the 8th, winning it on Sunday Night Baseball. You always want to win those nationally televised games. And Alex Cobb the other night, Monday night. Again, my days mixed up here. What day is it again? That is, easily the early running for start of the year. You don't see a lot of complete games these days. So the fact that we were able to see a complete game shutout, these are good things. And that brings us to last night. Blake Sabol, the walk-off home run. Shasky, I remember back in 2021, the Giants were kind of a little iffy for the first kind of couple months of the season. They were playing well, but not great. Then Mike Tauchman made that catch to rob Albert Pujols of a walk-off home run, and the Giants just took off from there. Is it crazy to think that maybe that walk-off home run by Blake Sabol could ignite a similar spark?
It's too premature at this moment, but that doesn't mean a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months from now, we aren't looking back at this as one of those seminal moments. There's no doubt about it that it feels like they're playing the best ball of the year. It's early, but I'll take them wherever I can get them. Because last year it felt like, early on they were kind of treading water. And then about mid-May, June, it just the bottom fell out. And I remember distinctively Rodon had a appearance in St. Louis where he got blown up, and it felt like they couldn't turn the corner from that point on last year. I know they finished strong, but it felt like they were treading water. They need to do anything they can right now to just stay in it as long as they possibly can. I know teams like the Pirates have come out of nowhere, and they've been pleasant surprises this year, but there are so many teams that are still going to be involved, even post July 4th, because of the extra wild card spot. Why not the Giants? Why not us?
I mean, that's kind of the theme every year. And it is still only April 26th. We're not even into May yet. I always kind of figure whatever the standings look like at the end of May, that's probably what they're going to look like for the rest of the year, with a few kind of outliers here and there. I mean, how many times in the last few years have the Rockies always gone off to a hot start? And it's like, what's going on with that? Why are the Rockies on top of the NL West in the end of April? And then the season ends and you're like, okay, they're in last place where they belong. So, I mean, teams are still shuffling around in the standings right now. I mean, again, the Pirates are the best looking team in the NL Central right now, and the Cardinals look completely lost. The betting man would probably say that's not going to be the case. Even the NL West right now, Giants only 2.5 out of the Dodgers right now, who they're kind of off to a sluggish start. They're only 13-11. I'm not trying to make this out to, we've won 4 straight. Let's start talking about winning that division. But, the Giants, they want to tread water, need to get back to 500, and they're taking advantage of a part of the schedule that we were kind of worried about last week.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And, are there some things to be kind of worried about? For sure. Brandon Crawford has 10 hits this year in 65 plate appearances. David Villar's right behind him. He's 10 for 66, right? So those are 2 guys that are in the middle of your infield where, you've gotten home runs. I believe a combined 7 between the 2 of them, but they've got 20 hits. Like, I need more hits than that. We're getting to the end of the month here. But for each of those guys, I can say, hey, what about Thairo Estrada? He's been outstanding. What about JD Davis? I mean, JD Davis feels like a revelation right now. The Giants got an unbelievable haul in return for Darren Ruff, who somehow made it back to the Giants.
Yeah, no, it's kind of, honestly, you're seeing a similar situation with the Pirates, where they have Brian Reynolds and Andrew McCutchen. So the Giants are on the raw end of that one. But yeah, no, let's talk about JD Davis for a second, because it hasn't been a great homestand for him. He's hitting only 174 on this homestand, but it doesn't really feel like it. He had that home run in the 8th inning on Monday night. And, I love the nicknames you're seeing for him. JD, just dingers. He's, again, the average isn't looking great right now. He's still hitting the ball really well. But Shasky, it's the glove that is really impressing me right now. I mean, JD Davis, lockdown third baseman. Who saw that coming? Not me.
I thought he was a DH first baseman at best, like, quite frankly. And defensively, going to his left, going to his right, backing up, going in, showcasing the arm. Like, I am really, really, really surprised to say that. Could he be a short-term solution? Maybe a 2-year gap at third base? Could it be something more? I mean, Justin Turner kind of came out of nowhere. I know we're early. Like, I'm not here to lose my mind out of it, but Justin Turner was a guy who was a late bloomer, and you look up and he's had pretty much a decade of success, right? After turning 28 years old. Could JD Davis be one of those kinds of guys? I think maybe opportunity, situation, him adjusting, evolving, maturing. Like, it's all of those things. And right now, I'm here to ride the JD Davis wave. Why not?
Oh, absolutely. And he's making the routine plays, but he's made some impressive, just web gem quality plays out there. And again, you're a big guy, the eye test, me, I love my metrics. He is surprisingly leading in so many defensive metrics. Fangraphs has all sorts of crazy metrics and stuff like that. One that I kind of look to, it's just basically, it's a defensive rating. It's an all-encompassing stat that basically just says, how good you are on defense. He leads all third basemen in that defensive rating category.
Wow.
He's right up there in outs above average. He's right up there again in run prevention. A lot of he's, topping, Gold Glove third basemen are in the league right now, and he's doing better than all of them. And again, you don't need the metrics to prove that, because you're seeing it with the eye test every day. If this is going to keep continuing, 2-year stopgap at minimum for JD Davis.
Well, what's interesting is you're bringing that up, and I'm looking at somebody in who they're playing right now in Nolan Arenado. I mean, the fact that he's got better metrics than him, I mean, that's shocking. And then throw in Manny Machado, who is batting, I believe, a shade over 200 right now. He's got some home runs, but JD Davis has been better baseball player in the first month than Manny Machado, who just signed another $400 million deal. So it's very interesting to see this progression. And again, I look at someone like Mike Yastrzemski, who started off hot again this year, hovering around 300. He had some lows the last couple of years. They've squeaked 2 pretty productive seasons out of Mike Yastrzemski. You could argue last year, as bad as it was, he was still a productive player. So maybe
still there.
What?
I mean, the power's still there with Yastrzemski too. I mean, he's hit over 20 home runs in, I think, each of his full seasons. It's the contact that was kind of going away there. And I think we've discussed this on this podcast before. The elimination of the shift, you're seeing a whole new Mike Yastrzemski. And a guy like him, who the Giants, they really like him. He is looked at as a leader in that clubhouse. When your leaders are playing well, that can start to become infectious. And that is, I think, what you're seeing around the clubhouse right now is you're starting to see guys feel it. Guys are coming together. They're feeling better. So over the weekend, I was in the clubhouse. Alex Cobb, I guess, got a bumper pool table, which I don't know if you've ever seen a bumper pool table, Shasky. It's basically, it's a smaller pool table, and there's all these little bumpers sticking out of it. And you got to basically you got 5 cue balls you got to get from one side of the table to the other into a little hole there. And Alex Cobb got over this past week for these guys to play and stuff after games, they're loving it. They're already like gathering around it and they're trying to figure out who's good, who's not, how to play this thing. They're already like it's stuff like that. When you're winning, when you have fun stuff to do like that in the clubhouse, like that stuff becomes infectious. When you have great moments like Blake Sable's walk-off home run, Gabe Kapler was gushing about Blake Sable last night. And that these are the it feels like this is the kind of things that happen when teams start to maybe figure it out. You got Mitch Haniger back, Austin Slater's back. It's starting to look like the 2023 Giants that we were kind of promised after, free agency ended.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I'm really excited. And look, I kind of know that Farhan can find guys on the periphery. We're still waiting to see some of these youngsters. So as we're talking about who's succeeding and who's not, the fact that David Villar is struggling and they're continuing to play him after sending Elliot Ramos down after a week, like I'm encouraged by that. I still see some positives from David Villar. So I guess where I'm going at is for every JD Davis success and Mike Yastrzemski and all that, I am happy that they've at least pivoted off of yo-yoing someone like David Villar back and forth to AAA because we're getting a chance to see him, and I want to see if he can make or break it.